Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension, and today we are working on day 22 of the 78 Days of Tarot, and we are going to be discussing the World card. Let me bring that in closer for you. The World card. So, we are going to be discussing the numerology behind the World card, which is the number 3. We are going to be discussing the astrology that is associated with the number 3. And we are also going to be discussing the astrology associated to the World card through this one, Tarot and Astrology, by Corinne Kenner. It's showing me backwards, so we're also going to be reading out of Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sanova and reading out of Holistic Tarot by Benabelwin. Okay, so I'm going to turn this camera around and we'll just get started. Okay, so we are going to be discussing, I'm sorry, this is the second time I have to redo this because of people in the house. Okay, so the World card is the 21st card in the Major Arcana, which in numerology goes down to the number 3. So we are going to discuss first the number 3 association in numerology. Number 3 in the science of numerology represents an energy reflective of the utmost in artistry and creativity. Imagination and self-expression are admitted in the number 3, which lends a hand to the vibrational properties of spontaneity, enthusiasm, and optimism. It is the number of the performer who consistently emanates extroverted energy of extravagance and indulgence. The 3 also represents the energy of what is known as the Universal Trinity or the Holy Trinity, which holds significant symbolism within many areas and cultures of spirituality. Excuse me. This can be exemplified in many different concepts such as conscious, unconscious, and superconscious, mind, body, and soul, birth, life, and birth, life, and death, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, Mother, Father, Child, past, present, and future. We have mentioned the universal laws before, which are the unchangeable laws that govern the universe. In the law of 3, it is explained that the number 3 is a law of balance and contemplation. 3 creates a unit, as neither of the original 2 are more or less significant than the other. Each of the 3 portions of the whole now act not only for itself, but now for the ultimate benefit of the group. The number 3 also reflects the vibrational frequency of the ascended masters in the spirit realm. These beings were and are the miraculous prophets, teachers, and healers who once resided in human form. However, they became enlightened, transcending beyond physical human limitations. They're an inspiration to the seekers of spiritual growth and higher consciousness, offering guidance as they are needed. So the number 3 reflects creativity, communication, and self-expression. So the next thing we're going to touch on is, and did it say anything about the number 3? Oh, yes. The zodiac relationship to the number 3 is Gemini, the twins. Gemini is the perfect representation of 2 sides to every story because it is all about balance and duality. Ruled by Mercury, Gemini reflects a love of exchange and highly enjoy expression of logical thought. As Mercury is the planet of communication, this astrological sign of equilibrium is composed of interaction, ideas in the lower mind on Earth. The twins are the reflection of being a flexible, while also giving off an energy of having split personalities that can adapt to any situation at hand. Interesting. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to discuss is tarot and astrology. So we just did the astrology that was associated with the number 3, but now we're going to do the astrology that is associated with the actual world card. And I'm reading out of Tarot and Astrology by Corin Kenner. Saturn is the world. While the world might seem limitless, both Saturn and the physical universe operate according to scientific law and principles of reason. Both have clearly defined perimeters. Saturn, the ringed planet of structure, boundaries, limitations, and restrictions, finds perfect peace in the well-ordered physical plane of Earth. The traditional version of the world card features a dancer spinning endlessly in her own world. A wreath, a symbol of eternal life, forms a protective enclosure that frames her every moment. It's a symbol of simple physics. We are made of energy, and energy is never created or destroyed. It's just transformed. While the world card usually suggests an entire universe of possibilities, Saturn's connection serves as a reminder that reasonable people also recognize their limits and make wise choices to make the most of the time and space that they are allotted. Most people, of course, rebel at boundaries. They like to feel free and unencumbered. Saturn brings us down to earth and teaches us the practical realities of earthly existence. Even though Saturn's rings imply a certain number of limitations and restrictions, they also delineate boundaries that can help us define our position and relate to other people without losing our own individuality. Boundaries keep outside forces out and contain what belongs inside. In other words, Saturn's boundaries don't merely confine us, they define us. Saturn is the rule maker. It makes sure that we all share a common language of values, I think it's supposed to be morals and expectations, so that we're all on the same page. Saturn can also be a control freak. It likes to control the environment and the outcome. Of course, part of the outcome is predetermined. Saturn is connected to death, and the ringed planet of limitations and restrictions sets definite boundaries for our earthly existence. Existence. When our name is written in the book of life, we all know how the story will eventually end, like the ancient god Kronos, the god of time who ate his children. The years eventually destroy all the earth's creations. In Roman mythology, Saturn was the god of agriculture and conformity and founder of civilizations and social order. Saturn rules Capricorn, the sign of work and responsibility. It also rules the 10th house of the zodiac, which, by the way, I'm a Capricorn, which you probably know that if you've been watching my channel. Saturn is associated with the bones and skin, which provides structure and stability to the human form. The world corresponds to the element of earth. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to touch on is Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sanova. And let's see what she has to say. The world, with a little caption underneath, says, I am transforming. The world card is the last in the major arcana. There are neat little images tucked all over this one. The 4 images in the corners represent the 4 fixed astrological signs. The lion is Leo, the bull is Taurus, the cherub is Aquarius, and the eagle is Scorpio. The fixed signs are aligned with stability and persistence. There are infinity signs at the top and bottom of the wreath, which stand for continuity, and the wreath itself represents achievement. The woman is marching ahead, representing action and moving forward. The woman is also a gifted baton twirler. So well done there. I found this quote about the world, and it always strikes me as perfect. One does not conquer the world, one discovers it. I'm not sure who said it, but it covers the focus and achievement of the world. This card is associated with getting the job, finding balance in your life, and graduations and celebrations. It's a culmination of all of your hard work and the confidence that comes along with that. The elements mentioned above, The determination, stability, persistence, and achievement, these are reflected in the other cards of the major arcana. If you see all of the cards before this as a journey, this is the happy conclusion. The infinity sign tells us that another journey is beginning, and the wreath tells us that we are ready for it. I wonder sometimes if the end justifies the means, but then I remember that it's the journey that counts. It's all of the ups and downs, the craziness, the light and the dark, the twisties that help to make us shiny, bright souls, like a rock tumbler, but much more poetic and whatnot. Okay, so now we are going to read out of Holistic Tarot by Bennett Bellwin. And it says the world, the theme of Key 21, which is the world card. The world card is fulfillment, completion, and triumph in all undertakings. It is considered the best card in the tarot deck because it represents the seeker's oneness with his or her greater calling. The world card represents the final state of cosmic consciousness, the supreme balance between good and evil, a complete reconciliation of the universe's dichotomy and duality, which was the persistent theme throughout the earlier cards of the major arcana. The world is about the command of growth, energy, emotions, ambitions, and material goals. In other words, all four elemental suits. It is the card of synthesis. In a reading, the card indicates that the seeker has the potential for great triumph and attainment of the highest level of cosmic consciousness. It suggests that the seeker's importance in the greater cosmic landscape. Rewards and greatness are to come for the seeker. The card can also be symbolic of the Gaia hypothesis. Oh my gosh, excuse me. The notion that the world itself is a living, evolving organism, and that for a seeker to fulfill his or her ultimate purpose, he or she must embrace the spiritual dimension of the seeker's relationship with his or her environment. If the card appears in the seeker's past, it suggests that the state that is predetermined or outlined for the seeker, though whether the seeker will walk the path of manifesting that full potential is to be determined by present conditions and choices. If the card appears in the seeker's present, it indicates contentment with the present. If the card appears in the seeker's future, then it forebodes great success and glory to come. Something of great significance will happen to the seeker. Okay, well, there's more, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm going to show you the various cards. Now, this one is the Universal Weight deck. This one is the Impressionist Tarot. Let me get some stuff out of my way. This is from Tarot Marchetti's Gilded Tarot. I love it. This is the Druid Craft. This is the Psychic Tarot. And this one, it just shows the universe. This one is the Angel Tarot. A job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude. The path towards enlightenment. Gotta love that. This is the Journey into the Hidden Realms Tarot. So beautiful. Do you see the spiral? The butterflies. Beautiful. This is the Shadowscapes. Wow, look at that. That is beyond gorgeous. I would love to get big blow-up artwork of this deck because it's so intricate. There's just so much art for these little cards. This is the Mermaid Tarot. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful. Everyday Witch Tarot. Look at the expression on her face. It pretty much says it all, doesn't it? The good things that she has around her. Beautiful. And this is from the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. Very, very similar to the classic Rider-Waite. And this is out of the new Ancestral Path that I've got, that I just got. It's just a really big card. See? So, I'm just going to leave my original card back up for a second. And as I've said in every single other video in this series, that when this card comes up, in my opinion, the way I see this is, it depends on, obviously, the spread, the placement in the spread, the question, if you're using a spread, whether you read, up or reversed. But ultimately, it is a very positive card. It depicts all four of the elements and a completion of a beautiful, a wonderful completion of whatever you have been working on, or a stage or a phase in your life, and you're about ready to begin a new one. And it shows contentment. And if it shows up in a future position, great success and contentment. And if it shows up in the past, it's showing that you have that potential. It depends on, the choices that we make, because ultimately it always comes down to still choice. At least that's my opinion. It comes always to choice. So when you're getting these cards, even if somebody is predictive reading for you, don't always expect that it's going to come 100% true, because you are that missing factor. What you decide after you get a reading or you have that information most likely is going to change the outcome. So there you have it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you are enjoying this series. We will begin next on the probably the cups, and I hope you like it. If so, give me a like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And, I would love to see your comments. I would love to see if this is helping you at all. It is helping me definitely retain. I will say, this last weekend, I was so, so proud of myself, because, I beat myself up worse than anybody could ever beat me up. That's just my personality. And because I'm always thinking, always in my head. Not that that's always a good thing, trust me, but so not being able to retain all of the meanings, or so I thought. I was doing some readings this weekend for family members, a few of them, 3 or 4 readings. Excuse me. I was so happy. They were just on point. They were all so good. And the way that I did it was, I did it intuitively. And then after we were done with the reading, then I pulled out the book to see how close we were to the meaning. And I was just like spot on. I was like, yes. In my head, it was just like a major achievement for me. So I was so pleased. And I know that in large, a lot of this has been because of this series. Going through and reading it all and putting it on. And then going through and watching it again. Watching it and rewatching it and watching it. So that I can retain it in my memory. Because for me, starting this tarot journey at 47 years old has been a struggle, to say the least, because I like being able to use the meanings. But I would beat myself up because I would forget the meanings. So I've really been just trying to step back a second, take a breather. I've also been doing a daily card, not necessarily a daily card on myself, but a daily card of reflection, so that I am focusing on just that one single card every morning and anything that, that I should learn. So obviously that comes in stages. For me, it does. But this series has been wonderful for me, and learning to trust my intuition, because my intuition it never fails me, ever. So, as I said, I hope you're enjoying this series. If so, give me a like, hit that subscribe. Don't forget about the notification bell if you would like to receive notification of future videos. And I'm wishing you guys always love and light. Thank you so much.